Raptors take on the Magic, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Orlando. The Raptors are -7, totals at 209.5. Orlando's plus 245 for some money line cash. Right now, Orlando is covering 71% of their ball games that were played at the current point spread. Toronto, on the other side of things, they're covering just 33% of their ball games as the official road favorite. Now, scoring-wise, Toronto's 3-0 to the over in their last three. Give me Orlando +7, covering the number at home. And the over 209.5 in that one. And before we go ahead and jump into some more lines and personal leans, I just want to quickly welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Friday's NBA action. Happy Friday to you. The weekend is finally here. But before we go ahead and get into any more personal leans and lines for tonight's NBA action, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with a documented win percentage of 60% for the entire year of 2017, you're certainly costing yourself some valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed. Now, memberships begin at just $1.99 per month on that website. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to just hit that pause button right now. Open up your browser. All you got to do is type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a couple of seconds. Link for that website is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you're currently watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. With all that said and done, let's go ahead and hop right back into some more lines and personal leans. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck we've got Pistons, Pacers, 7 o'clock Indiana. The Pacers open 7, down to 6.5, totals 206. 78% of the consensus is leaning toward Indiana. 82% is shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Pistons are plus 225 for some money line cash. Now, Detroit is 8-5 against the spread on the road this season. They're covering 60% of their games as the official road underdog. Indiana, on the other side, is covering just 42% of their ball games as the official home favorite. Now, scoring-wise, Indiana's 83% to the under in all of their games at home this season. So with all that said and done, I'm going to take the road dog in this one. Give me Detroit +7 after buying the half a point, and the under 206 in that one. Next game, Bulls, Wizards. 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in the nation's capital. Washington opened 4.5, now 5.5. Totals 216 and a hook. 71% are leaning Washington, 74% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Bulls are plus 185 on the road for an outright upset win. Now, Chicago's covering just 41% of their ball games as the official road underdog. They're also 9-26 straight up overall for the year. Washington, on the other side, well, they've won 6 out of their last 7 on their home court. They're also 5-2 against the spread in those 7 ball games. Now, scoring-wise, Washington is 73% to the over in all their games on their home court. Give me Washington -5 after buying the half a point, and the over 216.5 in that one. Next game, Nets, Hornets. 7 o'clock tip-off in Charlotte. The Hornets are 4.5, totals 221. 53% are leaning Charlotte, 74% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Nets are plus 165 for some money line cash. Now, if you like the Nets in this one, they have won 9 out of their last 10 straight up. They're also 9-2 against the number in their last 11. Brooklyn's 5-2 against the number in their last 7 on the road as well. Now, Charlotte, on the other side, they've dropped 6 out of their last 7 ball games. They've also failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5 at home. And scoring-wise, Brooklyn's just 6-10 to the over when traveling. So with all that said and done, I'm going to purchase the hook, buy it up, and take Brooklyn +5 and the under 221 in that one. Next game, Mavs, Pelicans. That is Mavs, Pelicans. Where's that at? Oh, Mavs, Pelicans, 8 o'clock, New Orleans. The Pelicans open the betting as the 4-point favorite, and the total at 230. Since those markets open this one up, we're seeing a little movement on both the spread and the total. Right now, New Orleans is -5, up to -5. Total moved up to 230.5. So once again, New Orleans open 4 up to -5. Total open 230 up to 230.5. 62% are leaning New Orleans, 73% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Mavericks are plus 180 for some money line cash. Now, if you like the Pels in this one, just keep in mind they failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5. They're also winless in those 5 games as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, Dallas is 20-13 against the number overall for the year, 12-7 against the spread when catching the points. Scoring-wise, Dallas is 6-0 to the over in their last 6. Give me Dallas plus 5 and the over 230.5 in that one. Next game, Hawks, T-Wolves. 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Minnesota. The T-Wolves open -10, total open 230. And since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing a slight fade of Minnesota. We're seeing a slight fade of the over. That total moved downward a little bit. Right now, Minnesota's -9 with the total moving downward to 229.5. So once again, Minnesota open 10, down to -9. Total open 230, down to 229.5. 71% of the consensus is leaning toward Minnesota. 53% of the consensus is shaded toward the under. And at the moment, the Hawks are plus 355 for an upset win. Now, this Atlanta defense is allowing 118 points per contest on the year. Really bad on the defensive side of things. Meanwhile, Minnesota is covering 86% of their ball games, taking on teams under 450. Scoring-wise, Atlanta 3-1 to the under in their last 4. Give me Minnesota -9 in the under 229.5 in that one. Next game, Cavaliers, Heat, 8 o'clock Miami. The Heat are -8.5, totals at 202 and a hook. Cleveland's plus 315. This Cleveland offense is putting up just 98 points per contest away from home. The Cavs are also just 8-27 straight up overall for the year. Miami 5-0 against the number in their last 5. They've successfully covered the number in 5 out of their last 6 on their home court. Now, scoring-wise, both teams are 2-1 to the over in their last 3. Give me Miami -8 after buying the half a point, and the over 202.5 in that one. Next game, I'm curious as to what that is. That's the Spurs. I wonder why that's blank. That is the Spurs. Let me see if I can find them on the paper. Spurs at the Nuggets, 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Denver, the Mile High City. Let's take a look here. Now, Denver opened the betting as the 3.5 point favorite, total at 215 and a hook. Since those markets opened this one up, Denver's taking money. We're also seeing money coming in on the under right now. That line on the total moved down to 214. Denver moved up to -4. So once again, the Nuggets open 3.5 up to 4. Total open 215 and a hook down to 214. 62% are leaning Denver. 71% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Spurs are plus 145 for some money line cash. Now, if you like the Spurs in this one, just keep in mind they're going up against one of the best straight-up teams at home in the association. Denver's 13-3 straight up on their home court. So out of their 16 home games this year, they won 13 of them outright. They're also 12-4 against the spread in that very same category. So very, very tough to win and cover against Denver in the Mile High City. Once again, Denver 13-3 straight up at home, 12-4 against the spread in that same category. The San Antonio defense is allowing 116 points per contest away from home. They've also won just 5 out of their last 16 when traveling. Now, total-wise, San Antonio's 11-5 to the over in their games on the road this season. Give me Denver -4 in the over 214 in that one. Next game, Thunder, Suns. 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off in the desert. OKC open 7, down to 6.5. Total open 223, up to 223 and a hook. 64% are leaning OKC. And at the moment, the Suns are plus 225 for some money line cash. Now, Phoenix is scoring just 103 points per contest at home. They've also won just 5 out of 16 games at the Talking Stick Resort Arena. Now, on the other side, OKC... They've already successfully covered in 2 out of their last 3, taking on Phoenix this season. This Thunder squad is also covering 63% of their ball games, taking on teams under 450. And scoring-wise, OKC is 12-5 to the under in their ball games away from home. Phoenix 10-6 to the under in their games at home. So with all that said and done, I'm going to purchase the half a point, slide it down, and take OKC -6 and the under 223.5 in that one. Next and final game for this show, very anticlimactic because there are no lines for this game. It's the Clippers at the Lakers. No line for this game. Just keep in mind the Clippers are 5-1 against the spread in their last 6. Meanwhile, the Lakers 2-4 straight up in their last 6 and no LeBron James.